it's Sharon, your breakup and life fulfillment coach, and I want to talk to you guys about vulnerability. I also want to share a personal story around this topic that I experienced recently. But vulnerability, I know it can be a really tough thing for a lot of people because it's hard to open up on that level and reveal parts of yourself to somebody. You know, it takes a lot of strength to put yourself in a position where you might risk feeling pain or rejection. Vulnerability takes a lot of strength because you're willing to put yourself in that position. I know a lot of people think that vulnerability is a weakness, but it's actually the complete opposite by definition because you're willing to take that risk and to, despite how the outcome might be, you're willing to reveal parts of yourself that aren't typically easy to reveal to people. Now, I met somebody recently. To be completely honest, I went on a date with somebody. It was a first date. And you know when you go on a first date and you expect the conversation to be pretty light, surface level, just fun, getting to know each other. So I went into this date with that mindset. And it wasn't long before I realized, oh my gosh, like this guy is really opening up to me. He's telling me things that no one's ever told me on a first date. Some of these things people I've been in a relationship with have never told me. So it caught me a little bit off guard at first because I wasn't expecting it. So I had to quickly shift my mindset to meet his. But I loved it because I love talking about that kind of stuff. So it was pretty awesome. But I just loved how open he was with me and how much he was revealing about himself and about his own personal journey and the struggles that he's been through and who he is now and how he's changed and what that looks like for him going forward. And I just realized that him being so open with me actually allowed me to feel like it was okay to be vulnerable with him. It gave me permission to feel like I could also open up, which I think is a beautiful thing. It's like a gift that you're giving somebody. When you're willing to take the risk and put yourself out there, you're also giving someone a gift to make them feel comfortable to do the same thing. Vulnerability also makes you incredibly relatable. And I think that if we all revealed more about our fears and our struggles, we would discover that there's so many people who will then turn to us and say, oh my gosh, you think that too? I thought that I was alone in that. Or I'm so afraid of that as well. I've never been able to talk about that with anybody. It's so great to know that you feel the same way. So vulnerability, it brings us together as a community, and it helps us support each other. And it just makes us not feel so alone because you realize that there's other people out there with those same feelings and those same fears as you. So vulnerability is just such a beautiful thing because it just creates this sense of oneness. So I want you to remember that vulnerability is strength and not weakness. Really, really important. And I'd love for us all to just be vulnerability leaders. Because once we can start being more vulnerable, again, we're helping to give other people permission to do the same thing. And how beautiful would this world be if we could all just show up as our authentic self and just put it all out there. So there's actually also a really great TED Talk by Brené Brown on vulnerability as well. I'll actually include that link at the bottom of this video if you guys are interested in learning more about vulnerability. She's like the vulnerability queen. So definitely check that video out as well. And if you ever want to reach out to me, you can always reach me by email at sharon@sharonstokes.ca. Also, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel where I just love to share content with you weekly. And yeah, I will see you guys soon.